Oh boy. Oh shoot, we're live. Hey, what's up, Myles?
We're live.
We're live.
Is it going good?
I don't know. There's no way it could be possibly going good, and it's just going to get worse, isn't it?
Wicked. That is what we plan on Fridays, guys. So we set the bar, and then we go under the bar again and again throughout the show.
It's like a limbo
contest? Yeah, it's like
a
limbo of expectation. We just keep the expectation going lower and lower, and we're always going to... I was terrible at actual limbo. Were you ever good at limbo?
No. I mean, I can barely touch my toes. How do you think I'd be at doing the other thing?
Dude, there was a game when I was a kid on the TV. I don't know if it was in America. It was called Chicken Limbo. Did you have it?
No, but maybe somebody in the chat's going to be like, yes, Bryan, we had it. It was my favorite show.
I just remember it on TV. Chicken Limbo. And it was like a little kids game where you got to do limbo. And I think there's a chicken somewhere, like holding the stick. I don't know, man. It's a memory. Or maybe something I completely made up. I'm pretty sure it was real.
When you said a limbo of the... I really thought you were going to say Limbo of the Dead, and it would be like the spin-off of House of the Dead, like Typing of the Dead, right? But I don't know exactly how that would work.
Chicken Limbo. There it is. Oh my God.
Did it autofill?
I'm actually going to get this for Christmas. I'm treating myself.
Myles typed in CHI and it autofilled Chicken Limbo. He's like, what? Google knows me too well.
Oh no, but now it's called... I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Coco Limbo. Right, because it's...
I'm done.
Is it Portuguese?
I don't know. I don't know. Myles.
Anyway.
Myles.
This is the high quality content you can expect from the rest of the show. Let's do it, Bryan.
And the channel. So make sure if this is your first time watching, keep your expectations in check. You ready to go, Myles?
Yeah, of course.
Let's go. This is PSVR GAMESCAST Live. We film live every single Monday, Wednesday, and 2 Eyes Friday right here on, there he is, YouTube. We do it live 6 p.m. Eastern for your viewing pleasure, but we care so much about your oral pleasure. That's why we put this thing up on podcast services of your choice as well. I hadn't even finished setting up the show before we started, Myles. But it is funny that you said you posted the Amazon link to this Chicken Limbo
what I found,
thing.
just so people knew I wasn't lying. It's has some warnings on it. It says warning.
You're not a lion. You're chicken.
Yes, it says warning. Warning. Toy inside. Adult supervision recommended. 2+ players for ages 4 and above. And the theme is party. That's what they say. The theme of it is party. Party themes. There we go. Anyway, we're not here to talk about Coco Limbo, are we, Bryan? We're here to talk about PSVR2 and stuff.
Well, crap.
Sorry.
Dude, you threw me off because so for whatever reason I was watching like old episodes on Cinemassacre of Board Games. Do you know what I'm talking about? Board Games.
Yep.
Like, okay. And so and they were doing, and they always have like these elaborate ones, right? Where they have to like set up like these big elaborate board games, whatever. Where it's not just like, oh, we're playing the game of life, and we pick a card and we pick a blue or pink character, right? Not that. It's like all this elaborate setup and shit. And while they were doing that, I suddenly remembered this game from when I was a kid. Like when I tell you that I had no recollection of this game, never thought of it once over the last 40 years almost. It like this was a new memory that entered my brain. Sirens on my end, bro. It was called Crossbows and Catapults. Did you play this,
dude? Holy shit! I've not thought about that since I was a kid,
dude.
Oh my God!
So for anybody who doesn't know, in the chat, what they did was they give you all these pieces, like almost like massive Legos, to build your own castle with, right? And there would be like one major one with a drawbridge in front, and then a couple of towers on the sides. But you could create it however you wanted to, like little characters, like little goblins and whatever. And then you were given all these kind of pucks, and so the only thing you did after building your castle was to use either crossbows or catapults or both to fire these pucks at your opponent's castle and try to knock it down before the other person could knock yours down. And I just remember loving that game so much. And I spent the last 2 days. This is why the top 50 is not done. Because I spent the last 2 days trying to hunt one down. It came out in 1983, and I kid you not, we had an OG one. Like when I was a kid, we had the OG set. So Amazon has a $23 version of it, and it looks like a $23 version. It looks like garbage. It doesn't have a good number of pieces. The catapult or the crossbow looks really dumb. And then there was, but recently, I guess they did a Kickstarter for them to like remake the original one. So it's all crazy because this happened before I even thought of this, right? This all happened months ago, and I just had to thought about the game for like in the last couple of days. And I was like, oh shoot, it might be worth it to pay like the bigger, price tag to get the official recreation. And then I looked at that and it was pretty shitty too. It's like $90 for something that's not even as good as the one I had in 1983. So now I'm looking on eBay for like for original sets, and God, they get expensive, dude.
This is taking me down memory lane. I mean, I remember we had a game in the UK called Frustration. Do you know Frustration? So it was where you had basically like a dome in the middle with a dice in it, and you sort of press down the dome and it would pop it and it would roll the dice. And it was like and you basically had to go all the way.
Yeah, we had a different name for that. Was ours Sorry? I think ours was called Sorry. Okay. Yeah.
But you had to go around the board, and if you overlapped them, you had to go back to the start again. I remember Sorry. I think we had Sorry over here as well. Maybe is it the same as Frustration?
I could be. I might have the name wrong. Oh, it might be a different. It might be
Frustration. They still make it. You had Hungry Hippos over there, yeah. Hungry Hippos.
Hungry Hippos.
Classic.
Yeah. What about Crossfire?
I'll do Crossfire, and then the one that I always wanted was Mousetrap, and there was actually a TV show, a kid show, where they actually built the Mousetrap full size. Like it was, Mousetrap was awesome.
So we had Mousetrap.
Okay.
We had Mousetrap, but I think we got it used or something because there was no way we had all of the pieces. We didn't know right. We had no idea how to play the actual game, and so all we ever wanted to do was just put the Mousetrap, the Rube Goldberg machine together, and that's all we ever wanted to do. So that's all we ever did was never play the actual game.
But the game that I wanted, and I asked for it like 4 Christmases in a row, and I never got it, and then I did, and it was the best thing ever. It was called Mouse Blaster, and I was just sold because. It was always the kids playing the toys. It was never about the toy in the commercial. It was about the kids and how much fun and how cool they were. Yeah. And Mouse Blaster was where you basically someone has a mouse and you control it with a magnet underneath the board, and you've got to get the mouse to get from one side of this like labyrinth to the other. And another player is this cat that's on this tomato cannon, and you're like shooting, and you've got to hit the person that's the mouse. And that was awesome. Anyway,
yeah, the chat has me. They've got my back here. It wasn't Sorry. Sorry was a different game. Frustration was called Trouble here.
Trouble. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but I got the trailer playing for crossbows and catapults.
Oh, nice.
It might be worth picking up the $20 version just to have a version of this, because this shit was so much fun.
Well, I promise you, I'm not just trying to like make this as a ridiculous segue into the conversation about PSVR 2, sure. But I would love to think about if one classic board game could be brought to PSVR 2, like Flat2VR were to say, we're going to take a classic kids board game and bring it forward. I mean, crossbows and catapults probably would be a good one, right? You build your base and then you're trying to take down the other's base. Like, I think actually that'd be a good contender for it.
Somebody in the chat said Kerplunk. I loved Kerplunk.
Oh, that was the one where you had to pull out the and
all the sticks.
Yeah, that's it. We had Buckaroo, where you got to put the items on the horse without it. Or was it a donkey? Without it kicking. If you put too many pieces on, eventually it will. Or you have to take the pieces off. Oh, you have Operation. You had Operation, didn't you?
Yep.
Which, to be honest, I would say Surgeon Simulator VR is probably the closest you're going to get to a VR version of a classic game. But man,
good stuff.
What a nice trip down memory lane, especially around Christmas time. I mean, I looked there at crossbows and catapults, and I could get it in time for Christmas. But then you told me it's not as good, and I looked at it and went, "You're right, it's not that good."
So disappointing, man. Like shit's just so much cheaper than it used to be. And I think I would be okay with it, but they didn't even recreate the design of the crossbow, right? It's like, come on, you couldn't. How, it's just irritating. Yeah. But I don't know. Watching these guys play, I think because I wanted to have it in time for Christmas to bring to Christmas and play with like the nieces and the nephews and the kids and maybe my brother, because my brother and I used to play all the time, and so I don't know. Maybe I'll still consider it. It might be worth it. Yeah, Myles, we do have quite a bit to talk about, so maybe we should get the ball rolling here. But just to kick things off properly, remember, you guys, PSVR this week is on hiatus until the new year, so there will not be an announcement of the weekend multiplayer games. That's why we're going to do it right now. And so if you're around Saturday or Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern, it's 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Eastern. What the fuck is it? What is wrong with me? Like literally every single episode of PSVR this week, I have to say these things. Anyway, follow us on Discord. Come join our Discord. On Saturday, we're going to be playing Phasmophobia.
Oh.
Yep.
I met some of the Phasmophobia team at the Horror Game Awards, and I was like, I got to thank you guys. I didn't even know that their HQ. I knew they were based in the UK. I didn't know that was actually where their HQ was. And I spoke to, I've forgotten his name now, but he was the designer who designed the latest Nell's Diner. And I basically talked about you, Bryan, saying how you used to work in a diner, and so you said when you played it, you were like, "This is creepily a bit too close to home." And he said he said what a compliment. But it was awesome meeting those guys. Phasmophobia just keep knocking it out of the park. But I did tell them, and now I'm wondering if I got it wrong. I said they don't have headset rumble when you get grabbed by the ghosts. When they grab you? Yeah, so I told them that, and they were like, "Oh, we never thought of that. We might think of it." I was like, "Yeah, headset rumble, man, when you get grabbed by the ghosts."
Or maybe focus on getting those frame rates to, hit double digits occasionally.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, listen, Phasmophobia is in the top 50 list, but even in the top 50, I had to be like, these frame rates fucking suck. like a great game, however, you know what I mean? And so,
that's true.
Anyway, come join us in Discord. Come join us over on Discord, 2 p.m. Thank you, guys. And oh my God, what's wrong with my brain? 2 p.m. Eastern on Saturday for Phasmophobia. And if you've never played Phasmophobia before, I say here's what I think you should do. Buy it now. Go in there, spend a couple hours just fucking around, hunting ghosts on your own. You're not going to get a single one for the first few hours, right? But at least you get an idea of how all the gadgets work, and you get an idea of how everything works. And it's like just and then be like, okay, well now I'm ready for somebody to take me by the hand a little bit and show me how shit works. And so that would be a great play on Saturday. That would be a great time to do that. And it's like to kind of start getting up to speed on how everything works. So I think there's gonna be plenty of people who don't really know what they're doing. So don't hold back just because you're a newbie. And then on Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern, we got Starship Troopers.
Dude, I'm going back into that. Awesome.
Yeah. Dude, that is high on my list. Games that need a Bryan bite or a full-ass review. Starship Troopers is high on my list for that because you and I had so much fun when we were playing it together. But I'd never really gone back to it. I haven't had time.
And I think it has had patches and fixes because when we went on at the very first, it was very janky with the voice chat and stuff like that. But yeah.
So if you also have Starship Troopers just sitting in your library and you haven't really played it, Sunday sounds like a great time to do it. All right. Oh, hold on. We got a tip before we get going. Let's do this. We got Ben L of the Game Cat Army with the level 3 membership. Says, imagine if Phasmo had B haptics. The ghost could shove you or swipe its claws down your back.
Oh my God, yes. They could give you a back massage. Oh, it'd be amazing.
Dude, I would just be terrified if it tapped me on the back. Just be like, hey, I'm behind you. Psst.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
All right. Myles, we're going to jump straight into your Let's Play from today.
Oh, God.
I'll let you take it away, man. I won't step on your toes.
Well, obviously, got a Let's Play every PSVR2 game, and one of the ones I saw in the store was Pickleball Multisport VR. So I reached out to the developer, joined Vikram, I think their name is, on their Discord, and they went through the effort of creating some keys so they could give me a key, and then I was like, oh, there's multiplayer. Could I have one for Bryan? Got one for you. And much love to the developer. They kept on being like, come on, I've generated these keys. When are you actually going to play it? And I was like, I am. I'm just waiting for a time when Bryan and I can do multiplayer, because it's about timing. We've both been very, very busy. And then today was the day, Bryan, wasn't it? Today was the day we could finally jump on and play some Pickleball, Multisport VR together. Yep. So we went on just before I live streamed. I couldn't get the multiplayer to work. It wasn't connecting. You did. And so we decided not to play any multiplayer together. So, yeah. But then halfway through my live stream, I restarted the game for a reason I'll talk a bit later. And when I came back on it, multiplayer was then working. But by that point, Bryan was off doing what he does, which is researching, preparing for GAMESCAST Live. So
and editing a top 50 list that I'm desperately trying to get out the door tonight, because I've got one more after the top 50 list. I got one more video, Myles, and one more video to do, and then I'll check in with AJ and see how he's feeling, because we haven't seen him in a while on the channel. So it'd be nice to have like one more GAMESCAST with him before we call it quits. Yeah. But if he's still sick on Monday, then I've got one more video after the top 50, and then I'm calling it quits for like a week. I'm taking a full week off, and then maybe I'll come back for New Year's Eve. And
anyway, on that note, much love to AJ. Much love to AJ.
Yeah. Anyway, back to it. Pickleball.
Well, so you've played it, right? Like, you tell me, because I know how much I've played from doing a Let's Play, but you played a little bit of it, because there's quite a lot of modes, aren't there?
I played like the default, like, hey, let me just get into a one match, and I was appalled, Myles, appalled by the UI in this game. Like, it's like they're using the default font for everything, and it's just text everywhere, and it looks poorly formatted, and it's just it's a gross looking game. Okay, all due respect to the developer,
but it runs at 90 native.
It does run at 90 native. Yep. It's
buttery smooth. When you move that bat around, that is... I genuinely was impressed how sharp it, but like, it runs well. The UI is absolutely abysmal.
When you start it, it looks like this is in the planning stages. Like, that's what it looks like. This looks like developer tools, developer, UI and stuff. Just as before they polish things up and make it ready for the consumer. That's what it looks like, what stage it's in. But I didn't spend that much time with it. I played one match, and I had a horrible time. I didn't score a single point, Myles.
I didn't score.
and
the only time I scored a point was then when I won the serve. But then you have to win that to get the point, and I would never get the point. So it was just a full sense of like competitive edge. Yeah.
It was. Sorry. Half of the reason I sucked was because I don't know the rules, and so I never knew like where I was supposed to hit the thing. But the other half was because I just couldn't get the physics down, and I feel like they need a crouch button, because the opponents are always serving it in it's by the ball. By the time it gets to you, it's by your calf, right?
But don't you have teleport on by default?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, you turn it off because it was super annoying.
Yep.
Anytime you start a new match in game mode, it's on by default. So before the game matches, you have to quickly, quick, turn it off. But at least there's only click turning.
Oh, I don't think I even turned once, because you're always facing the opponent. So I was like, whatever, it doesn't matter.
I know. I guess there's no need for it, but I would have liked it, I guess. Yeah,
for sure.
Only click turn.
Always. Anyway, I played one game. I couldn't get used to the physics. I couldn't quite, because I was either hitting it way too hard or way too soft. I could never quite find the in-between. That was the other reason I sucked. But you spent way more time playing this thing.
At least like 30 minutes.
That is 10 times longer than I spent playing it.
So they have like, I'm going to say they have like 10, 15 modes in it. And there's just like arcadey ones where you got to like return it to a robot and hit it on certain zones. There's another one where you got to hit the objects at the other side. I did play doubles with the AI, which was actually the most fun I had, although I hated it when my AI went for the ball and then didn't bother going for it. Like, I let them go for the swing and then they don't. But I knew from the store page that there's a zombie mode, Bryan.
Oh,
there's a zombie.
Do you want me to just play what happens?
Do you want to play the clip of what happens when you select zombie mode? Have you got it?
Yeah, what's the timestamp?
Oh, I've actually got it's in clip of the week. I've actually exported it into that. So if that's going to be easier, or if you're showing it on screen,
Yeah, I've already got your live stream up and running.
17 minutes 30, I think it was.
All right, we'll go a little bit before that, and I'm gonna turn it up. So you guys just sit back and relax.
Oh, you are going to be able to hear it. Okay,
yeah,
this is unbelievable, man. I did not expect this from a zombie game mode.
Here we go.
Zombies, all right. Whoa. I was not expecting this. Oh shit, the spiders! Yikes! Nah.
What the?
Nah.
What? What the? What?
No, that is fucking horrible. That is the worst thing. That is horrible. Oh my god, those are some of the worst spiders I've ever seen in VR. Oh. No.
Myles, I don't mean to laugh. I don't mean to laugh.
No, please do. It's hilarious. I've never had a game make me quit the game because I couldn't pause the game or stop it. The spiders are the worst spiders I've ever seen in a VR game. As in terrifying. Horrible.
You've played Madison in VR. Like this is great. Is it just that like you weren't like prepared because you were playing like this cartoony game of pickleball?
Dude. But it was the fact the spiders, the way their legs, they look real, and then they were coming from the ceiling, and then they're like coming near me in personal space. It was all of it. And I don't expect that from Pickleball.
Yeah.
Brian. And Pickleball zombies. I thought it was going to be like you're playing Pickleball with a zombie, and it's like, over the net. And then you appear, and it looks really good. Now, the developer apologized to me afterwards, going, sorry about that. You're meant to kill the spiders with the lightsabers, and then you go into a maze with the zombies. Oh, okay, then there's the zombies. He says he made it as a mode for his kids, and then he thought, actually, it's quite fun for people to play while they're waiting for a multiplayer match.
That's really funny.
It genuinely was. I've never had to force quit any game out of fear. That was like... Actually, I've had to do it... I've done it one other time, actually. It was in Subside, when in the whale level, where you have to swim out to a buoy right out in the ocean. Mm-hmm. And my thalassophobia was so bad that once I got to the buoy, I had to quit the game because it was easier than pressing the menu button.
Is that how you pronounce it in the UK?
Thalassophobia, yeah. Oh, man, that's how I pronounce it.
Buoy.
Lupa says, oh my God, he must hate his kids. He says his kids love it. Yeah, so honestly, that isn't the last thing I expected from Pickleball. And then everyone in the live chat was going, do it again, Myles, do it again. No. Like, genuinely, no. Like, spiders, dude. Was it you telling me spiders are a no-go for you generally with games, yeah?
Listen, there's I won't say anything in detail, but the one time, so this is the one time that you've ever had to close the game in order to continue. The only time I've ever ripped my headset off in fear is Until Dawn Rush of Blood. There's a spider level, and I won't spoil anything for anybody who still hasn't played it yet. But man, there's one moment in that where just like, no, I did that. Okay, it's not. I just I didn't know what to do. Right? It's like what actions you take, and I didn't have my wits about me to even like close the game. Right? No, I had to rip the headset off. So yeah, so I'm not a fan of spiders either.
Yeah, I'm just disappointed it was a zombie mode. Like when I was in it, I was like, oh, this is cool. This looks really good. I'm just really blown away that is in a Pickleball game, because anyone that's buying that as a nice VR, a zombie mode, anyone that goes to that,
it sounds like
I genuinely I'm still shocked that's in that game like that. Unbelievable. And the fact that it looked good in the headset.
It sounds like they should have made a zombie game with a bonus pickleball mode.
That would have been cool. I mean, I know we're going to talk about another zombie game on the show, but like, this actually game looked better in the headset than that game.
Oh my God. Fifth with the Australian $5 tip says, Myles, what was the dinosaur game you played last week? Dino Crisis, Tomb Raider? What was...
No, it was Feed My Raptor VR.
Oh, yeah. I played 5 minutes of Feed My Raptor VR.
Did you get the platinum?
No, because I I was waiting for something to download, and so I had just picked it up, and I thought that it was going to be just like the flat screen version where you just stand there and hit X while you get a what's it called, while you get a platinum trophy, and instead you have full locomotion in this kind of like vibrant cartoony world, and you're like, what, like, was it any good?
No.
Okay.
Also, like, you basically can teleport with the food in your hands to quickly feed it, but the stakes, if you use teleportation, the stakes fall out your hands, so you have to use the full locomotion, and it's really slow. So to get the platinum, you're going to have to invest a solid 10-15 minutes, which I did.
Sweet. That sounds like the first Bryan bite of the new year.
There we go. Yeah. So I played that as an extra Let's Play this week. I did that on the Sunday because I thought this isn't going to be long. But yeah, just to quickly roll off the other games I played this week. Zero Caliber, that I know you guys have covered. My quick thing of Zero Caliber is it obviously needs optimization with the sound, haptics, adaptive triggers. I know that's all coming. But dude, like, I was impressed how sharp that looked in the headset when you're looking down the road in the city and stuff. I played it only single player. I'm definitely looking forward to playing that with friends. Like that'd be a good time.
Yeah, I was shocked. This is how you use DFR. This is the resolution we're looking for, right? You know, and people are pointing out, oh, but this texture looks bad or whatever. I'm like, yeah, there are bad looking textures, but man, I will sacrifice some texture work for this resolution and frame rate. Like, holy crap!
But it made me think. I would love it if these guys made like a Counter-Strike VR game. Like the classic games with those textures, with that sharpness, would be amazing to play. So. Yeah, no, I thought it was cool. But then on Tuesday, Bryan, I played... Actually, no, that's what I played on Tuesday, Zero Caliber. On Monday, I played Dig VR.
Oh, wow. Now, is this the first time you've played it?
Yes. And dude, there was something really embarrassing, and I'm going to do it as a YouTube short once I bring myself to edit it. So I'm playing the tutorial level, and the first mission you have to do in Dig VR is you have to dig a well. So they say there's a marker of where you got to dig the well. So you go to this area, there's a marker, and there's a circle. So I start digging the well. So I start digging. Dude, I must have been going for 15 minutes, talking with the chat, like, oh, this is pretty nice. But for some reason, it's not telling me how much left I've got to dig. And like, this is a long mission. I'm digging for 15 minutes, this massive hole. And then I look at the mission and it says, go to the marker, which is over where I thought the well was. So I realized I wasn't supposed to dig it. That was where I was meant to put my digger. And then the well that you're meant to dig, I did in 2 scoops. In like 20 seconds. I'd just been digging for 15 minutes. And I was...
So clearly you 3-starred that level.
Dude, a well is like circular. So yeah, oh my god. So anyway, that was my experience of it. Dude, it was super chill game. Like, I like it, man. I like the bowling mode that they got, the bowling mini game and stuff. Like, yeah, that was all kind of cool. I'm definitely going to play more of it. Supposedly the platinum trophy's broken, and from what they were saying on Reddit or the PSN profiles, there's no sign that the devs are going to fix it, which is a shame. Same with what's it called? Arcade Paradise VR. There's a trophy that's bugged on that is preventing me from getting the plat.
Oh, for real?
Wednesday, Bryan.
Yeah.
Space Drop. Have you played Space Drop?
Yes. Yeah. Go ahead. I don't want to. Just tell me what you thought first.
I thought it was incredibly basic. It's nice to have one of those kind of games come to PSVR2. I'm not going to play it again, but I got to tell you, easy mode is not easy. I played it on the hardest difficulty, and it is insane how fast you're going. It's completely wild.
I was so bored by it, man. I was so bored.
Yeah, it wasn't that fun at all. So yeah. Moving on. Then Thursday I played Death Horizon Reloaded, and then Pickleball. So we can talk about Death Horizon.
Let's do Death Horizon Reloaded now.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. Cool. Well,
had you played it? You hadn't, because it came out like many years ago on Quest. You'd never played it before.
Never.
No. Okay.
Never played it. And to my recollection, it was like this stationary wave shooter or something like that. Like but that must have been how it played on like the Oculus Go or something. And since then, it's gotten tons of updates, and now it's called Reloaded. And so now there's full locomotion and climbing and all that stuff. And I mean, listen, I don't want to be too mean about this. I think it retails for $20. I feel like that's about twice as much money as I'd be willing to spend on it. It is the budgetiest budget of zombie shooters as far as I'm concerned. I think Wes was saying on Wednesday's show. Just to be clear, Wes hadn't played the PSVR2 version yet, so I have no idea how this plays on other headsets. But this doesn't. Wes had said, if you've already played Arizona Sunshine and Arizona Sunshine 2 and Propagation, if you've exhausted all of the zombie games on PSVR2, then maybe play this. And I'm going to go a step further and say I think you could probably just skip it unless it gets a lot of updates.
Yeah, I agree with that. I hear that it has multiplayer on the other modes, on the other platforms, and they're saying we could bring it in if there's enough requests for it. So I'll start with a positive first, which is I did like elements of the game and the sort of the overall feel. I like that you can climb through air vents and to drop down into secret rooms and stuff and find chainsaws and stuff like that. And I think I like the overall aesthetic of the game. I think it's kind of cool. Like, I like the vibe of it. But unfortunately, it's harmed by a few things. Firstly, which was wild because looking on the social screen, it looked awesome. In the headset, it is so washed out.
Yep, very great.
It was unbelievably great. But on the social screen, it looked great. Like, look, HDR. So if they can fix that, that will be great. Secondly, I really despise... I like the fact that you have key cards that you've got to hold up to scan and open the door. That's great. I kind of feel like I'm in a classic Doom game.
I know what you're
But then you've got to use it every fucking time you want to open a door, which means it makes the game even more segmented. You're in a room now, clear it out, take out the waves, go on to the next one. There's no feeling that it's like you're exploring an overall facility. It just loses that flow. I wish once you unlocked it, the door would just open every time you go near it. I found that incredibly frustrating.
Well, because what's the number one thing you're going to do when you open a new door in a zombie game is back the fuck up because there's zombies on the other side of the door. And so, and then the door closes when you back up and you're like, well, I got to take the key card out and go scan it again.
Yeah, that's it, man. And then I had times where the key wasn't even scanning properly. And then my third issue, and there's probably more issues, but the haptics were just... you often hear people saying, is it just a straightforward port? This is the kind of thing that makes it feel that way because and this is the thing is, sometimes I think there's no haptics when there probably is. It's just not a lot. The chainsaw had no haptics.
Right.
And I was like, maybe like you're brum, brum, brum. No haptics. Maybe when I'm cutting through the zombies. No haptics. And I'm like, missed opportunity. Actually, one more thing, Brian. That it made me think about. Melee weapons felt absolutely trash.
Yep.
Terrible. No sense of weight. The swinging was awful. I hated using the melee weapons. And to be honest, very few VR games make me feel good using double-handed weapons. I just don't feel... I think Swordsman is one of the few where they've actually nailed it. But this, like, even single-handedly using them just feels absolutely trash. I have to say that using the weapons, the actual, like, the different guns, I actually thought felt pretty good. Like, getting the headshots and that felt all right. But there's so much of this game that is just... There's other zombie games that do things a lot better. Yeah. So those are my thoughts. What about
Secret
you?
Secret Stuff in the chat says the motion feels like you're ice skating. Yeah, this is going to make people sick to play if you've got a sensitive stomach for VR, or you don't have great VR legs yet. It uses acceleration, right? So when you push forward, it takes a second to kind of get going, and then when you let go, you kind of slow down and then stop. And that's the kind of stuff that makes that there's that disconnect in people's brains.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I said to stop walking, and I'm still walking, and it's like that's when people get sick. And so, so that sucked right off the bat. Yeah, I don't know, man. I agree with everything you said. I didn't like the feel of the melee weapons. The guns were fine. But it just felt like, okay, walk into a room, kill everything you see. Walk into a room, kill everything you see. And within about 5 minutes, I was like, I'm so already tired of what this game has to offer. And it's like this, it's the kind of thing that co-op would sort of alleviate, you know, to get in there with you and play that for an hour. It's like, I think I'd have fun, you know, and you kind of laugh at the jank a little bit and you don't take things as seriously. And so for them to say, hey, if there's enough interest, we'll put the mode that's in all the other modes in the PSVR2 version. Dude, this was absolutely rushed out for the holidays, thinking, oh, if we get it out in December, maybe some people buying a PSVR2 will pick this up as well. It's like, I hope no one does. I hope no one does. This should be in some kind of early access thing on PlayStation right now, right? Until they get the visuals sorted out a little bit, until they get the melee attack sorted out a little bit, until they get the multiplayer version. This should be like $10 at most.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm kind of curious to see where it goes. I'm not gonna lie. Like I think I'm gonna get back in there and actually finish the game. I have no idea how long it is. I'm you know, because
dude, they got a lot of trophies in it as well. Like 45 trophies and a platinum, so they've got that right.
Wow.
Also they've got some cool challenge modes. So there's a challenge mode which I just quickly tried at the end of my Let's Play. So you can do it where the entire game is in the dark and you have a flashlight, and that is cool. Like in the dark, it's really dark, but when you're using the flashlight, I don't know how to explain it, but anything that you've lit up, including zombies, they look a bit splotchy. Like it has that grainy sort of feel. Okay. So that doesn't feel good. But like overall, is it reprojected? Do you remember trying it? I couldn't tell.
Okay. My gut. No. I don't. It's not because right off the bat I was like, oh well, at least they nailed the frame rate. They were paying attention to something. Yeah. So this is definitely 90 native.
Yeah.
But anyway, not that it really matters. All right. Well, probably time to move on from this one. We got some tips we got to talk about, Myles.
Awesome.
And thank you everybody for your generosity as always. Shit. There it is. Okay, we got Game Cato with the 10 without parole gift memberships. Thank you so much. 'Tis the season, but you're always generous, so I'm sure it has nothing to do with the season. But thank you very much, Game Cato. Always appreciate you. Game Cato following it up with an Australian $100 tip.
Whoa.
$100. That's ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous. But obviously, thank you. But we're not deserving. He says, haha, I love watching Myles lose his shit. Okay. Oh, and here comes some cash for Christmas. Keep up the awesome work, guys. Game Cats rule. I will tell you, man, the last couple months have been so satisfying. Like just game after game after game after game, and so many of them were just bangers and so much fun. And and pumping those reviews out on the channel and having GamesCast 3 times a week and PSVR this week and just like new trailers going up and like announcements for 2026. Like, I mean, it just felt like VR was on fire, right? And now I feel like I'm closing out the year the way that I wanted to, with a full week of GamesCast, a top 50 list, an upcoming games list of 2026, right? That kind of stuff. And it just feels like when I take this time off, it's going to be the first time that I've taken time off, and not because I'm burnt out and not because I want to, just because I need a mental holiday, that kind of no, it's because like we worked hard.
Yes.
We had a lot of fun and we deserve it. Right. I feel like it's ending the way it's supposed to. And so I just want to say thank you to everybody who's been here for the ride. And it's just been, I honestly think I've been talking to a lot of developers behind the scenes, and I honestly think 2026 is going to be better than 2025.
Yeah, me too.
But more specifically, thanks again, Game Cato. I appreciate it.
Yeah, amazing support.
Son WTF with the 5 without parole gift memberships. Thank you so much for your generosity. 'Tis the season. I feel like we should sing or something. Game Cato with another 10 without parole gift memberships. He's up to 20.
Make the chat green like Harley. La 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 la.
Oh, I was like, who's Harley? And then like Holly, got it.
Harley. I said, goddamn accent.
I still don't know what a boy is. Swim out to the boy.
Oh,
that's what I was asking. I wasn't asking about thalassophobia, by the way.
I thought that was
it's called a buoy.
You call it a buoy?
Buoy. I was like, what's the boy doing in the water? Why
oh my god, you call it a buoy?
Buoy.
Wow.
Baba
I never knew that. Baba Booey. Was that where it's from?
No.
I know it's Howard Stern, but Baba Booey. Boy, what's it? Buoy. You call it a buoy?
You call it a boy.
I never knew it. We just call it a boy.
Game Cato, you're cut off, man. You're cut off. I don't want you spending all your money on us. You've already done way too much, man. But I got to go back to my bartending days and cut you off. Cut you off. Because you've had enough. Or we've had enough. Comic Book Guy with the 5 quid says, "Hi, everyone. Very late to the show, but have you talked about Aces of Thunder yet?" Why, what's up with Aces of Thunder?
Don't know. Oh. Actually, where's the title of the video? It's down there? Below us? It says down... down there. It
says Bryan Paul without parole. That's all I see.
Oh, wait. I thought a bit lower. Right down the bottom. Like two floors down.
If I look any lower, Myles, it's going to be an SFW. All right, let's. You know what? Comic Book Guy's here. He demanded that we talk about Aces of Thunder, and I think that's totally fair.
Yes.
Let's get to the star of the show. Aces of Thunder. Lots and lots of teases over the last. Bro, listen. Forget the pretext. Forget the setup. Okay. Ace of Thunder is coming out in February, early February too. What's the official date? Is it February 2nd? Is that what it is?
3rd, wasn't it?
Perfect. I'm going to believe you. Now, here's the crazy thing, Myles. I looked up on the channel because a lot of people have been like, "What the fuck, man? Like they've been talking about this game forever. Like these teases and that." Blah, blah. I looked it up. I re-uploaded the very first teaser that they ever put out.
Yeah.
Right when the announcement of it. Do you know how long it's been?
Isn't it been like 3 years or so? Oh, no, 2 years, something like that.
By the time the game comes out, it'll have been 3 years since the.
What was it announced when PSVR2 came out?
I mean, pretty much. It was March of 2023. Insane. And so at that point, it's like, well, it's been in development for how long? Once the trailer came out, once the announcement teaser, right? And so you go, how long has it been out? Or I mean, how long has it been in development? Right? Because you look at like what it had even then, and it seemed like it was kind of ready to go. It looked like it was already looking pretty good. And so, so I think, you know, when you put out an announcement that early, people assume it's just about ready to go. It already looked really good, and they were talking about stuff like that. And so I mean, so what's your feeling about this, Myles? They'd sort of been saying for a while it was going to be 2025. And then here we are at the very, very end of 2025, and they say, oh, by the way, no, but it's not too far out. How are you feeling about the way they handled this?
I mean, overall, I found it. Look, I'm not going to criticize them for like their overall stance of it. Like they do what they do, but as a gamer, a part of me is like, even when they announce this, I'm like, I don't care. Just tell me when it's out. Like it's just been promo after promo. And until I see it, I see it. But like, I'm just curious to know like what had happened the last 3 years. And my guess is they announced the game. They did have some people play it, didn't they? A year ago?
Yeah.
Although I think they were still working on stuff at that point. My guess is that from when they announced it, it was probably possible to come out that year. But then in development, they realized there's an opportunity to expand upon what they've made and add more and more to it. I mean, you look at it's been often used in PlayStation marketing, like official PlayStation marketing. And I don't think it wasn't just recently. I think it was done like over a year ago as well. So I have, this is all complete speculation. I'm just looking at what could have caused it to take so long. What if Sony had played it or experienced it and went, wow, this is really good. We can fund if you expand it. For example, I don't know. I don't know. But right. I think those are all possibilities. I do not think the game that we'll be getting in February is the game that they had in mind when they announced it.
No.
Almost 3 years ago.
No, because I think when they first announced it was going to be this multiplayer only thing, right? And
Right.
then it was only about 3 months ago, not even, that they announced like a single player campaign and all these single player missions, and so obviously that was much later in the process. They actually gave us a little bit of insight here with this with their tweet today. So let's read through that real quick. And I do want to say, Myles, that like selfishly, I'm really, really happy this isn't coming in 2025 because again, it's been such a whirlwind, like this Q4, and anybody picking up a PSVR2 headset has so many new games and old games to choose from. That's like, hey, let's take a second here. Right, let's take a second here, and then we'll start picking up 2026 with some some pretty big games, obviously very early on. Anyway, so they said Ace of Thunder will be released on Steam and PlayStation Store on February 3rd, 2026. Ace of Thunder offers players the opportunity to experience realistic first-person aerial combat both with and without VR, which I think was another thing that changed in the process. Right? This was initially just PlayStation VR, and then eventually it was now it's PlayStation VR and Steam VR, and now it is PlayStation VR to Steam VR and flat screen. And for a game that is so heavily focused on multiplayer, Myles, I think this was a really, really, really good decision, right? Yep. Important to get as many players as you possibly can in there, including flat screen players. They say, in addition to the traditional support for various physical devices found in flight simulators, Ace of Thunder allows players to control aircraft with virtual hands. Again, this is something that had been a lot of speculation on this recently, saying, when it launches, it's going to launch without hands in the game, without the virtual cockpit, right? You're going to have to use a flight stick or the DualSense controller. And so this makes me happy because I am really, really tired of games coming out and being like, oh, we'll put the 90 hertz native in later. We'll add the multiplayer in later.
Excuse me.
And so I'm kind of happy that's going to be the complete package out of the box. 29 highly detailed aircraft from World War I and World War II await you in unique online multiplayer battles where you can fly with friends in formations. The historical campaign will recount famous events in the world of combat aircraft across various theaters of war. Additionally, a proving ground, mission editor, and separate single-player missions are available, allowing you to test various aircraft in a variety of locations, weather conditions, and combat situations. We look forward to seeing you in the exciting world of Aces of Thunder. A little bit more insight.
Yep. Mission editor, dude.
I know. I kind of remember them saying that, but then I kind of don't. I can't quite remember if that's a Mandela effect or not.
And it turns out it just means you can rename the missions.
Yeah, right. I like how detailed is this mission editor? Like, can you share it with your friends and stuff? Like, can you create something that's just going to be for you? And that's the kind of stuff you see more on the PC side of stuff, and not so much here on the console side. So this is really interesting. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I think the whole time that this kept getting delayed, and really, so infrequently was it actual delays. It was people getting upset that they have not announced a release date. Yeah, right? Because I think there was really release windows. I don't think it was never slated for 2023 or 2024 to my knowledge. I would love people to point me in direction of something that said this is what we're shooting for. And maybe it was, but I remember them saying, sometime in 2025, and the fact that it's like, hey, we know what, we missed it by a couple months, but it sounds like it's going to be the complete package when we finally get it, and that's totally fine by me. So I'm just glad they shut the fuck up for a while, because it was like
that is it,
right? It was too much, man. It was too much. Every other day it was like, oh, here's a new clip of this. Oh, here's a new plane that we added. Oh, here's a blah blah blah, and here's a this. And I was like, okay, you know what? I feel like I've played the game already. I feel like I've already played the game. So just shut up until you're ready to announce a release date. I don't care if it's a full year until you're ready to announce a release date. Just I don't really want to hear it until then. That's all.
As the famous saying goes, a delayed game will be eventually annoying. As
Miyamoto once said. VR Resistance with a level 1 membership says play Ghost of Tabor, new wipe, bunker, and bug fixes. Oh, new wipe, comma, bunker, comma, and bug fixes. All right. I wonder where the Ghost of Tabor made it on the top 25 list or top 50 list, top 75 list.
I still need to do my Let's Play of it, so we need to jump in and do that.
We do. You do not want to jump in without knowing what you're doing. Otherwise, the first hour of your Let's Play will be like going through menus and trying to team up with me and stuff and being like, "What do we?
Yeah,
what's that?"
No, for sure.
Uh-huh.
I've played a few. I've played a few hours of it.
Oh, okay. You know what you're doing then.
And I'm absolutely trash. But yeah.
Speaking of trash, I played some Roboquest VR today, Myles.
Oh, you might want to read this tip that's just come in actually.
Fifth with the Australian $5 says Roboquest 90 hertz is great. Thanks. What's your favorite movie of 2025? Hold on, we're going to tackle the first half first, and then the second.
Oh yeah,
half.
I was thinking I didn't read the second.
No, I love to. I don't know. I love to give you and Wes a hard time for the things you do that are not your YouTube channels or my YouTube channel. I have nothing but respect for Flat2VR, and I gotta say, I'm really, really happy with the 90 hertz update. I know it's like experimental and all that, right? It's like not official or whatever you want to call it, but it's very, very happy. It didn't seem like it really lost any resolution. It didn't seem like there was any downsides to the patch, and it does run silky smooth. Everything's great. I did a run, and I felt like I was doing better on the run because of the 90 hertz mode. Yes?
Same.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I thought it was just a placebo effect.
Well, maybe no. I definitely did. I got higher ratings on it. I think it's just because of all the projectiles, right? There's a lot of projectiles, and with reprojection, it's a bit blurry, and like every inch where you move your head is going to matter. I played 5 minutes of it as soon as it dropped. Before I did the social post announcing it, because I was like, I just want to make sure on my PS5 Pro it's not going to break the game and stuff like that. But yeah, actually before GAMESCAST, I played like a couple of like about 20 minutes of it, and dude, I just love it so much more now. But I was really interested to hear your thoughts, because I don't know, it was the same with Surviving Mars Pioneer when we did the DFR update. And I went on it and I was like, this looks good, but I don't know anymore. And then everyone's been saying, no, it's great. It's not blur anymore. Someone on Reddit was saying Surviving Mars Pioneer, it's so clear now when you're outside. I thought I was actually on Mars. And I'm like, oh my God. Like when you're going through trying to fix stuff for these games, because for Roboquest VR, 90 native, some people are asking me, right, like what was the give to make it 90 native? I'm telling you now, the resolution is the same. In terms of specifically, what have we reduced? I think I know of one or two things, and I was going to ask before the show, but then you know what? I thought, I'm not going to ask. If you want to know what did we drop to make it work, I'm not going to tell you for a while. You know why? Because
go play it yourself.
Just experience it. If you detect it, fine. But why? If you play it and go, this feels exactly the same, except it's 90 native. That's the experience that we want. Why bother telling you stuff to look out for? Right. That might be like, oh, here are the drawbacks. Sometimes you just got to experience games for what they are. So I don't kind of want to spoil it. But also, the reason it's experimental is just because we are still optimizing the game. There's still other things that we're going to do. This game is still going to improve. And there are so many conversations internally about, we did a PSVR2 patch. I think it was on Monday this week. We then had to revert it because there was a lot of crashes at the weekend. And we're just like, how has this happened? And like looking at like what needs fixing and stuff like that. And so anytime we've got an update, even if we're absolutely sure and we're testing it, we just want to make sure we've got ourselves covered. So we had a lot of conversations on like, how should we even describe this to the community about it being out there? And so we were like, well, let's just say it's experimental. Should we make it a default mode or a choice? I was like, no, make it a toggle. Because then also the toggle means you can compare the two. And did you do the comparison?
No.
Oh, you didn't go backwards and forwards. But when you go back and you're moving your hand and you're like, Jesus Christ, that reprojection is so bad. Yeah, I was smiling from ear to ear, and I can't wait to play lots of it this weekend and that. So I just want to say, thank you to the community. Like, you are completely within your right, and I'm glad that you hold us to account when we fuck up. Because we have conversations internally about stuff. And like the reprojection leading up to launch, I was very clear on, like, I think the reprojection is really bad. They really fixed it closing up, but it was still there. But then when the community as a whole are bringing stuff up and we start seeing the patterns of it helps us prioritize what we need to fix. And 90 native was at the top of the list all the way. And also fixing the trophies. I think some of the trophies are still broken, but a lot of them are fixed now. But yeah, just to say thanks to the community. And I know that there were people not willing to buy the game until the 90 native was out. And since 90 native, we've seen a spike in sales. So we're happy to see it. Because when that happens internally at the company, when we're talking about decisions and we go, okay, people are saying 90 native, but is that actually a priority? Like, is that actually going to have material benefits? And we're like, no, it does. For PSVR2, there are people that are going to be like, for a game with so much movement, I need it to be 90 native. And so, you know, the things that people say and the behaviors of how people buy games, that is what moves the needle on what we do. And a lot of people are asking about haptic support. Just being honest, it's something we want to do. It all becomes a part of priorities. And
right.
It might be something that we're able to do soon, but we have nothing to announce at this point.
I was testing a lot of stuff out because there's so much going on in the world of PSVR2, and testing this out obviously before the show today was something I wanted to do. Completely forgot about Surviving Mars. Not gonna lie, just completely forgot about it, and I desperately want to check it out because there was, I thought at launch it was fine, just a little bit soft. Right.
Yeah.
And then there was like a weird patch where it seemed like everything got a little bit uglier somehow. And so I've been really meaning to get back in there and be like, okay, where are we at? Where are we at? Just so I have like the proper. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that probably this weekend because I'm just really happy shit's coming together because. Too many loose ends, you know what I mean? And it's not just with Flat2VR, just like everywhere, right? And so even when Zero Caliber came out, it was like, bro, why didn't you fucking delay your game a week, right? I mean, they did delay the game a week. Why didn't you delay it an extra week, right? To allow the adaptive trigger support to be in there on day one, right? Rather than having it 24 hours later. So the number of people who jumped in on day one, bought the game day one, and then didn't have any adaptive trigger support. It's like, what?
Yeah.
It's like you already delayed it a week, just delayed another week. And actually they probably should have delayed a couple more weeks only because of the other minor issues in there. But anyway, not the point.
On Surviving Mars, very good Christmassy game. I'm going to be really shameless and actually plug this. We were looking at what kind of things could we add to the game as DLC. And if you haven't seen already, we've done a Christmas DLC that's like a few dollars. It means you can put a Christmas tree in your habitat. You can create baubles to put on, and you can get a little fire and like stockings on the fireplace and stuff like that. It's $3 or $4. I bought a copy myself of it, the DLC. And the shameless part is, I'm just going to say, if you enjoyed Surviving Mars and you want to support us, please just buy it. Like, doing these like little DLCs is our way of basically testing the player base to find out, like, if we create additional things and small things, do people care enough about it if they spend tens of hours that they'd want this stuff? And again, if people don't care about it, then fair enough. But the other thing I'll say is VRacer Hoverbike had a really good meeting with the developers again this week. We've been meeting every week, and I've been planning out with Wes and others at Impact Reality. We've been planning out basically the next 4 months for VRacer Hoverbike. We've got something really awesome planned for, I'm going to say it now, around February time. But then every month we've got some beats, and some of the ideas we've got for this game, I'm so excited. If we pull it off, I think it's going to become so much fun. There's going to be some real good social elements in it, and ways for people to show off more creativity, and also just to like goof around. And you know, like we all like cosmetics and stuff that you can use to show off to your friends. So yeah, looking forward to it. Sorry, Brian. Just rambling off about stuff we're working on.
No, all good. I'm sure everybody appreciates hearing about it. Well, while we're on the topic of what you guys are doing, we got Ace Gamer with the level 1 membership says multiplayer still planned for Roboquest, Myles.
Oh, for Robo, yeah, absolutely, yeah. We're working on that, and we're also working on the Quest release. So both those things, I'm pretty sure it's going to be the first half of 2026. I'm tempted to say first quarter, but don't hold me on that. But like, I've been surprised that the rate and the progress has been made. But you know how it is. You work on a game, you're making a lot of progress, and then you might hit a blocker that could stop you. So like, there's still quite a bit to do, but they're doing amazing stuff with it. But people then asking about like other modes we could do and stuff like that. We were talking this week, and we sort of joke about it, but we're like, look, if Roboquest VR did really well, maybe we could do that. I was saying, what if we did a battle royale mode for Roboquest, like 25 people playing it? You know, the scope for Roboquest VR, and this is the great thing about Flat2VR Studios, is yes, we are taking flat screen games and bringing them to VR, but we can add stuff to it that was not in the flat screen game, and that all depends on what the community requests and, you know, how well it does. And I think for Surviving Mars, Pioneer, actually, I think for these three games, Surviving Mars, Pioneer, VRAcer Hoverbike, and Roboquest VR, these are all games that have done pretty good at launch. But I think that they're games that are probably going to consistently do well, mainly because of like word of mouth. I think that they're always going to be, well, I don't know, some of them might be like rank high in the top 10s of people's lists, but I think they're always going to be in the conversation when people say like, I want a survival VR game. I think Surviving Mars is going to be held up there. I want a fun arcade like Racer. I think VRAcer will hold there. I want a good roguelike shooter like Robo. I don't mean that just for the next year. I think that they are actually going to stand the test of time as well. That's my hope.
Do you want to know where they fell on my top 50 list?
Are you willing to say it now?
I mean,
or are you gonna you don't want to spoil it? Do people have to tune in?
I mean, if people don't want to know, they just don't have to listen.
All right.
But it was funny because in my head I was like, people are gonna think I'm fucking taking money from Flat2VR.
Oh, really?
because you know, I do everything in my power to remain unbiased and not take money from developers or publishers, and you know, I don't do sponsorship videos, and I don't do affiliate links, and I don't do all of that stuff. And then I looked at my top 50 and I was like, people are not going to believe me. It's not like, oh, they're all in the top 10, right? But they are, no. but they all did make it fairly high. The issue, of course, is that we've just got so many amazing games. And so I will say, okay, starting from,
I don't have any idea how I would rank it, because it's easy to think of individual games, but then when you list them against all these other games, that's when you're like, oh shit, okay, that's 20 amazing games, you know.
All right, so Surviving Mars landed in number 24, which is like pretty crazy. Meaning, if it was a top 25 list, it still would be there, which is crazy.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Right. And then we gotta scroll way up to number 17. That's where Roboquest VR landed.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Which I thought was pretty fair. However, I think the multiplayer mode is going to shoot it up a few more spots.
True.
And dude, and the other thing is like looking at the games around these games and being like, oh, is it?
Right.
I mean, right? Yeah. Like it's comparing them almost 1-to-1 and being like, well, if that's at number 17, what's at 16? You know, and it's like, oh, is it? Is it better than that? It's tough. It's so tough. This has been a very trying mission here. And then at number 11 is where VRAcer Hoverbike fell. So it didn't quite crack the top 10, but holy shit, you can't get any closer than that. And so if VRAcer Hoverbike, which I think I gave a 9.4 to or 9.5 to, if that's number 11, think of the games that are in the top 10.
And also when you do it again next year and VRAcer has its updates that we've got planned, I think it's going to go higher. Yeah.
Roboquest will be up higher because it's multiplayer.
Yeah.
Right. And but You know what? I should
There'll be
probably
other
check.
games
I should probably check out the Surviving Mars update before I finalize the list to see if
that's true.
it goes up a spot or two. Oh man, this is the problem.
But
every single
yeah.
game on this list I probably should replay, but I don't. Who has
Right.
time for that?
But in your defense, and I don't feel shameless in saying this, they're 3 fucking incredible games. Like they just are. And also V-Racer Hoverbike and Surviving Mars Pioneer, we've helped with, but like V-Racer Hoverbike has been a game that's been in 7 years in development. It came out on Steam like many years ago. Like this has been a long time coming. Then we helped. We published it to MetaQuest, and then we had a conversation with them about bringing it to PSVR2, and helped them with that. So, like, yeah, these are great games. Obviously, Roboquest VR is our game, but also it's kind of like, yeah, it is our game, but it was also Rise Up. Rise Up were the guys that made the flat screen, and it was amazing. So I do kind of feel like tooting your own like games horn is easier when you kind of there is a distance to it as well. Like these are games we've published, the developers developed it, and I kind of feel like that as a marketer as well. Roboquest VR, I had nothing to do with the development of the game. That is Flat2VR Studios. Like, yes, I'm a part of it, but the developers did it. I'm a fan of gaming, and seeing the love and heart they gone into it is just incredible. And hopefully we won't ever do a terrible game, but who knows? Who knows?
Myles, speaking of all these games that keep coming out and you know need updates after launch, I was actually really intrigued by VRIDER SBK.
Yes.
Which yesterday tweeted, and unfortunately, hold on a second, something's very wrong with OBS as always. So 1 second here until I get this fixed. Yeah, they tweeted about their game. Now, by any chance, did you go in and
I haven't. I actually haven't played it on PSVR2, embarrassingly. I actually helped market their game for MetaQuest, and I remember chatting with them about bringing it to PSVR2, but they've gone on and done it and stuff. And I enjoyed it on Quest, and I'm looking forward to playing on PSVR2. I've actually reached out to them. I should have got a key long time ago when I was working with them, but yeah. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on the DFR update they did.
Well, here so the tweet says PSVR2 visual fidelity is mind-blowing. The community spoke and we listened. The addition of DFR, dynamic foveated rendering, makes the track razor sharp exactly where you look. This is high-speed clarity. They are screaming from the rooftops about this update. They failed to mention one thing, Myles.
What was that?
There is no update. They failed to mention, this is something we've done internally and have not yet released upon the world. So I start up my PlayStation 5 and I go to the game and I start it because sometimes, you know, if you haven't played it in a while, it doesn't auto update. So I start it. I'm like, it's not downloading an update. I was like, hold on, let me check for an update. Nothing. You've got the most recent. And I was like, all right, well, maybe it updated when I was playing some other game. And so I checked my notifications, checked to see the recent updates. Nope. It is not updated. There is no update. And so I just thought it was really a weird thing to be like, to be tooting their horn about. Like, look at this. It's so razor sharp. It's amazing. Maybe also say, and we're planning on launching it next week or something, because currently it's not out.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. I'm looking at the video and what they say on it. With every unparalleled detail. Yeah, there's no mention of it. They're just talking about. That is strange.
I desperately want to play it with the VRacer Hoverbike controls, though.
Well, to be honest, and this is why I feel really bad for them, because I've worked with them and Rodolfo and that all at Viral who do it. Really, really nice folk. And whenever I see people just every time they do a post on the Reddit, PSVR Reddit, and everyone's like, yeah, but you should make the controls like V-Racer Hoverbike, and I'm just like, oh, God, guys. Like, I love the community and stuff, and I'd rather it be that way around than the other way around. But yeah, I feel for them. It's also a different game. Obviously, bikes, they could implement those controls, but like they've gone for simulation. and it's obviously done with what's it called, licensing of the official league, which is incredible. And VRacer Hoverbike is an arcade racer,
yeah,
which I'm more into. You know,
I mean, I am too, but like, you know, it's not like, I guess arcade racer could be read a number of different ways, but I do think that VRacer Hoverbike has plenty of sim elements. I mean, simulation of a vehicle that doesn't exist, right? Like you can't just fly into every turn and like and you know, drift around it, right? You've got to hit the brake at the right time. You got to make sure that you're going the right speed to take every turn. I do believe that there's some depth to the gameplay, a little bit more than you would expect from something you call an arcade racer.
That's true. Do you know what's funny? I hope they don't mind me saying this. Francois from Vertex Breakers. I was having a drink with him after launch at the weekend while we started discussing. This is what you do in your free time at weekends. You're like, why don't we do some work and just chat about like next steps for it? And we're having a beer around lunchtime. And I was like, so tell me, Francois, like, have you been a motorcyclist for a while? And he's like, I've never raced a motorbike. Now, I don't know about the rest of the team. And so straight away, I'm just like, wait, what? You're not a motorcyclist and you've been... I mean, to be honest, no one's raced a hoverbike, for real. I get that. But I just found that absolutely fascinating. But then, have you been on a hoverbike? Wow. That's cool, man.
Dude, I do crazy stuff in my dreams. You wouldn't believe.
Oh, that's awesome, man. But it reminds me of... Better Than Life, who did Kayak VR.
Yeah.
And I can't remember, I think it was when I had Leon on my stream, and someone in the chat had said, because I asked him like these locations in Kayak VR, have you been to these places? And they're like, oh no, we just researched online and then created the environments. And then someone in the chat had said, by the way, that level in Kayak VR, I've actually kayaked there. And when I was playing Kayak VR, I felt like I was back there. And I was like, that is the most mind-blowing compliment ever. So you're telling me that the developers have made a level of a place they've never visited, and someone who has been there and has kayaked there is saying that in the VR, they felt like they were back there. I'm just like, so it just goes to show that you don't always have to be doing these things. I mean, I'm sure it really helps, but those kind of things blow my mind completely. But anyway, little story time.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah. So you don't have to have DFR in your game to talk about it, do you, Bryan?
Apparently not. Apparently not. But it is good to know, because when I got into VRacer SBK, I always double check myself as I say, because I'm like, it's VRacer Hoverbike VRIDER SBK. Good. Yeah. Both.
I've even had to check that myself when I'm writing VRacer Hoverbike posts. I'm just like, please don't get it wrong. Yeah. It
was fun, and it was, you know, and it looked already pretty decent, you know. So it'll be, that is one that I'm happy is getting a little bit of love. So
nice.
Myles, just we got a lot more tips to get through, but I did want to give you the heads up as early as possible that it is your turn to host the 4-minute challenge. So if you need some time to pick a game, you've got it. We've got. Oh yeah. Hold on. There it is. Test rate review with the Australian $3 tip says, do you think Flat2VR will ever make its own new IP? Is there a desire at Flat2VR to create your own IP? Is there a want to make your own games, or is the company very happy with its mission statement of like, hey, this is what we think VR needs to move forward?
So the honest answer is, like, we do. I think we talk about a lot casually of like what IPs we'd like to work with and stuff like that. I think that we're definitely saying no, never make our own titles. But at the same time, the whole reason Flat2VR Studios exists is because we think it's the right model for the platform. Roboquest VR could not have existed if that was a game built from the ground up for VR. Like, to have that many weapons, to design that world, the resource to build that from scratch for an audience as small as VR just is not sustainable. But the fact that Roboquest was a flat screen game and it was critically acclaimed, beloved, great by Rise Up Indie Studio, they done all that hard work because they were selling it to God knows how many hundreds, thousands, millions of people that played that game. And then it meant that we were, we still had to put a lot of hard work, but it was obviously much more achievable because it's like, okay, we've got these 80 weapons. Yes, we've got to do the manual reloads and the animations, a lot of work there, but it's not all from scratch, and every little bit of development makes a difference. So that's it. That's part of it. And then the other part the hybrid model works is it gives opportunity for cross-platform between VR and flat. Now, when it comes to Roboquest VR, just to be clear, we are going to have cross-platform multiplayer in terms of, MetaQuest, Steam VR, PlayStation. We want everyone to be able to play together. That is the aim. Are you going to be able to play Roboquest VR with Roboquest players? That's a lot more difficult, and I don't know what the honest answer is. We would like to, but for that to happen, it would mean going into the code, working with Rise Up on the flat screen game, because you'd have to update the game of what happens when you see someone in VR, they're on screen and stuff like that. But it definitely works, because look at Phasmophobia. If you're able to play with people on flat screen, there's more reasons to play, because I'm like, I want to play Phasmophobia. Oh, none of my VR friends are online at the moment, but my friends who play it on flat screen are. Same with Demio. So we can play together on our preferred platform. And there's nothing better than playing on a flat screen. Well, it's playing in VR, but there's nothing better for a flat screen player than playing it, and then inside the TV they see their friend waving and being like, hey, I'm in here on Phasmophobia. That is a good marketing tool as well. So do I think Flat2VR will ever make its own new IP? It's possible. It's just absolutely not a priority now, because we believe that hybrid games is what needs to happen to not just grow the VR player base in terms of like the number of games sold, but to like convert more people to play VR as well.
I had to hit F5 on the tip window. It was crashing.
You're right. The plan for Flat2VR Studios, obviously, is we want to work with increasingly bigger and bigger IPs. Because the bigger the IP, the more chance you have people going, I've effing love. Look, for me, I've always been honest about this. I want us to be the company that brings Last of Us to VR. Because I think that's a system seller. I think it's way more of a system seller than Call of the Mountain Horizon is. It just is. Like, if The Last of Us was in VR, there'll be lots of people going, I love The Last of Us so much. I want to be in that world. Well, now you can in VR. Like that's the kind of stuff that I think will really move the needle on sales exponentially.
Looper in the chat says, make it easier. SBK actually reads as Superbike. That's not the part I have the issue remembering. It's the VRIDER and VRacer.
Yeah.
That's the part I have the trouble remembering. So appreciate the tip, Looper, but I don't think it's gonna help. We got Wild Hour the Game Cat with the Australian $20. Says, Merry Christmas, Game Cats. Drive safe over the holidays.
Merry Christmas to you. Happy
you heard it here.
Everyone.
Drive drunk over the holidays, everyone. No, don't drive drunk over the holidays. And if Cousin Jimmy's listening, don't drink it all over the holidays. Because I don't want you falling asleep in my parents' house after you forget where you were. He's not listening. I'm gonna have to tell him that to his face. It's not gonna be a pretty one. Yeah, thank you, Wild Hour. And I'd like to reiterate what Wild Hour says. Holidays are sometimes fun, sometimes stressful. However you feel about them, there's no avoiding them, unless you avoid them. And if you manage that, please let me know how you did it. But if you go to it should be nice to be around family, and it should be nice to see everybody, because sometimes it's the only time you get to do it. Sometimes people do it for Thanksgiving, sometimes people do it for Christmas, but very frequently it's the one time a year you get to see extended family and people that you don't see very often. And so the last thing you want to do is turn something that should be festive and awesome and wholesome into a fucking tragedy for your family. So always better to be safe than sorry. If you are a drinker, wait till you get home. There's a lot of other people on the road. Be careful. Marcus Antares, I hope I pronounced that right, Marcus, with the €10 says, love this community. You folks are so polite compared to others. We're not so polite. We're just so polite compared to others.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
The bar is low, Myles, and we snuck under it. No, I'm just kidding. He says, have a great time till 2026. What's your pick on a possible big franchise VR game in 2026? Alien. Oh, Alien was in 2024. Thief was in 2025. And I guess, I mean, Metro was also 2025, right? No, 2024. I'm sorry.
24. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's, yeah, I mean, that's a good question.
I always wonder if Rockstar Games are ever gonna, like, I don't know, man. Because there was the whole thing if they brought a VR person on the team, it looked like they were exploring it.
And they had the VR case files for LA Noire, so they do have like some experience in the field, and that wasn't something they farmed out. Like as far as I know, they that was an internally developed game.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I mean, I'm trying to think. It wouldn't be unusual, would it, for a big franchise to be announced next year and it to come out next year?
No, I mean, yeah. Thief was only announced 4 months, 6 months before it came out. Something like that.
Yeah. So, but like real big IPs, it could be launched at the start of the year. I kind of feel like, you kind of want to wait till the new year starts because it's so busy with sales and stuff like that. It can get noisy. I think as we go into the new year's, we could see some nice surprises, hopefully. But I have no idea.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot to think about. I mean, Quest had Batman and Deadpool over the last couple of years, and so
Men in Black,
right?
And we're getting was actually good fun.
And we're getting The Boys in 2026.
Oh, that's true. The Boys, The Boys actually.
Yep. So there's stuff happening, but listen,
dude, it's VR.
Ooh.
Can you imagine looking in the mouth at deadlights in VR? God. I need to watch Welcome to Derry. I'm going to maybe try and watch some of that this weekend. I've not watched any of it.
None of it. Wow. As with every Stephen King anything, it's the journey, not the destination. But
interesting. Okay.
But the journey was pretty fantastic.
Okay. But you weren't satisfied with the final episode? Or it was fine, it's just...
It was fine. It was fine. Yeah. And obviously not spoiling anything for anybody. No. Don't worry. Everything's fine. Some of it seems silly, and I was introduced to the term plot armor this week, thanks to our good friend Vader, where like, it's like this thing exists because we said it exists. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, I felt like there was some plot armor all kind of thrown into the last episode in order to make it work. And it was fine. But compared to the other 7 episodes, I thought it was a little bit of a letdown. That's all.
Okay. Interesting.
Man, I'm still thinking about this about Marcus's question, and I really do wonder, because Vertigo has taken this route of doing Metro and Thief. Like, what other franchises could they get their hands on? Like, for all intents and purposes, Thief was pretty much a dead IP, right? And so, like, what other IPs are people interested in that were a big deal at one point, but maybe not so big of a deal now? And my answer to that question is doesn't adhere to the parameters I just set. But how perfect would it be, Myles, if we got Tomb Raider VR, like actual Tomb Raider VR? Yeah. And I'm not talking like the remake, the open world stuff, but because they are remaking the original game, right? The original PlayStation 1 game, and if it continues kind of like to be that kind of more linear style, I think that would be kind of perfect for a remake in VR. Or to just put the remake in VR. So I'm gonna roll the dice and say they're doing a lot with Tomb Raider right now, and it would be pretty cool if we got a VR version of it.
I would love to see a studio try that, of taking a classic game and just putting a VR version, which is it's third person. Do you know what I mean? It's 3D and you're in the world. Like I just want to see. I just want to see. I know it's a bit of a gamble when you're telling someone else to do it with their money. I just want to see them do it, just to see how it sells. Like,
well, when you're telling somebody else to do it with their money, you're not. It's definitely not a lot of money when you're just saying, "Oh yeah, put the exact same game into VR with no first-person mode, with no VRAF controls." You're literally just flipping a switch, and I know it's not quite that easy, but it's way closer to that than what you guys do.
Yeah, sure.
So, okay, we can still get more tips.
Crash Bandicoot. God, can you imagine spinning around in first person?
No, that's the sound. That's the sound.
Headset rumble every time you're hitting a box.
That's pretty good. We got Ace Gamer with the 1337. Thank you so much. He says, "Come investigate new ghosts of Christmas in Phasmophobia this Saturday with us, and then get ready to do your part in Starship Troopers on Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern both days. 2 p.m. Eastern, Bryan. 2 p.m. Eastern. Join Discord to meet up and vote for the games you'll play next week." Excellent. Thank you again, Ace Gamer Cat. Good reminder. We started the show by talking about that, but it is make sure you come join our Discord, you guys. It is the coolest place to hang out if you're a fan of PSVR2. Oh man, tip window keeps moving too fast. Comic Book Guy with the 10 quid says, "Not a VR related question, but is anyone planning on seeing Avatar: Fire and Ash? I am thinking about seeing it, as the Avatar movies are must see in 3D at the cinema." Myles, please say something positive before I say something negative.
I am probably, it's going to be probably the first one I'm not going to go see. I always feel like I've had a head injury after each of the movies, because you asked me what happens, I couldn't tell you. I know it was amazing. It was an amazing, I was impacted by saying amazing, but I've been left with the biggest head injury and I have no idea what happened. So I just remember it. I just remember it looked incredible. It looked incredible on the big screen. Nothing about it was memorable. And I'm not trying to say that to be trendy. Like, I think James Cameron is a phenomenal filmmaker. I think the tech and everything in it is incredible. But it's kind of like, I don't know. Maybe I will go see it, but I think I needed enough years. Well, it's been a few years since the last one. I needed like a decade before I could probably have the appetite to see another. And I wish James Cameron would go on and make other movies.
Yeah. I didn't like Avatar 2. And this is coming from somebody who loved the first Avatar movie. I went to see the first Avatar movie in 3D in IMAX. I think 3 times in the theater.
Wow.
With different people in my family and friend group that wanted to see it. And I enjoyed it every single time. Like I was like excited to do it. Right? Like, oh, you want to go see it? I'll go see it again. That's great. And then Avatar 2, Way of the Water, or whatever the fuck it was called.
The Way of Water.
Yeah, is that it? Okay. It was a big family thing. It was like 9 of us, I think. And so we're all there, IMAX, 3D glasses. Here we go. And I don't know what happened. I was bored out of my skull. I just couldn't get into it. And I was basically just waiting the entire time, just waiting for the movie to end. And I was like, I think I'm done with Avatar. Like, I was like, I'm not going to put myself through this again. It was too long, too bloated. I didn't think the story was very good. And, nothing really happened. And, I think it was all about like dazzling you with the 3D effects. And I'm just like, all right, like, I don't know. I might be done with 3D movies, Myles, like just in general. Because I had a nice stint there when 3D movies were making the first comeback they'd had in a while, where it was How to Train Your Dragon, which was phenomenal in 3D, and I think Avatar was around that same point. And there was like 2 or 3 other ones. We went and saw all of them, and it was really great. And yep, I think I'm over it.
Is the new Avatar movie out now, or is it just people who've been seeing it on press stuff?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I saw World of Longplay said that he just saw it, and
okay. Because also, aren't they showing the new Avengers Endgame trailer beforehand as well? That's the reason everyone's is supposed to go.
I don't know. I think Myles, I think VR has just become the immersive thing that I do.
Yeah.
I don't think throwing on a pair of 3D glasses does it for me anymore. Oh, World of Longplay says it's been out since Wednesday.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Wednesday. Okay.
And World of Longplay, did it have the Avengers Endgame teaser at the beginning? I know there was one that leaked, but I don't know. It was because that was when the original Cloverfield movie had a trailer. It was before Transformers, when the Statue of Liberty's head gets thrown down the street. That Cloverfield clip.
Chrome Colossus says Blade Runner 2049 was awesome in 3D. Sirens on my end. The second I read that comment from Chrome Colossus, I was like, okay, I'd probably watch that in 3D. I just think both Blade Runner movies are fantastic.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah. We got Game Cata with the level 3 membership since he was cut off from giving us any more money. Thank you so much for adhering.
Banned.
Yeah.
Banned from spending money.
He says VRIDER SBK Superbike needs hands and arms. It's so off-putting to not have them. I was confused. I had actually remembered hands in the game, and then when I went to play it today, I was like, wait, where the fuck are my hands? I got so used to VRIDER Hoverbike.
VRIDER Hover SBK.
Now I don't know which one's which. Oh my god, definitely broken my brain. But yeah, I agree. Boy, these sirens are getting real loud over here. Sorry, guys. I agree. They definitely need hands and arms. And
knees and toes.
Oh. Head and shoulders, knees and toes. Knees and toes.
Head
knees and toes.
Shoulders, knees and toes.
Yeah, we didn't have that when we were kids, right? I guess you were a kid after I was a kid. Maybe it was after my time.
That's how I learned it. That's how I learned about it.
Grandpa's Barbecue or GameCat with the Australian $5 tip says VR needs to become standard across all platforms. Then you could get someone like 2K, bring out a VR line, getting Flat2VR converting their flat games. Yeah, someone like 2K, bring out a VR line, converting Flat2VR games. Okay.
Yeah, as in you're not doing it for one console or one area. It's got to be everywhere. Yeah.
Right. Like Switch needs VR headset and Xbox needs VR headset. Yeah. I agree. That'd be great.
I think that's going to I think the console market, we're definitely getting to a convergent point where, even with flat screen games, PlayStation knows they need to release their games on PC. Stuff is happening, So if PlayStation does its own PlayStation store for PC, that becomes a thing, then yeah, PSVR2 games will then maybe get launched on PC for that reason, which is good for the platform, because it's I've made a PSVR2 game. Okay, it's going to be on PS5 consoles and it's going to be on PC on the PlayStation store there. So, yeah.
Scott, the PSVR game cap for life in the chat says head, shoulders, cheese on toast, cheese on toast.
Cheese on toast.
I like
cheese on toast would be so good right now.
Yep.
I've picked a game, Brian.
Perfect. Let's do it, man. Let's do a 4-minute challenge. You guys know how this works. You guys out there and me over here, we got to figure out what PSVR 1 or PSVR 2 game Myles is thinking of. We're given an infinite number of yes or no questions to ask, but only 4 minutes to ask them in. So make sure you put good suggestions for questions I should ask in the chat, and then based on the answers Myles gives, tell me some good games it might be, or bad games it might be.
Cool.
Start asking questions now, you guys, and I'll we'll stockpile them, and we'll blast through this. All right, you've got a game picked out. So on my mark, get Des. Wait, do I have a little notepad thing around here? Yes, I do. There's one right there. And go. Is it on PSVR 1?
No.
Is it on Quest or Steam?
No. I don't think so. No.
PSVR 2 exclusive. All right, what else? Is it a horror game?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think you could say that.
Okay. I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not, so I'm putting down horror-ish.
No, I say horror-ish. Sure.
Okay. Are there zombies?
No.
Okay. Old Dart says, is it based on a known IP?
No.
Do you have hands in the game?
No.
No. Is there any multiplayer?
No.
Okay. Does it go for realism?
Yeah.
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 Okay. Marky was wondering if it's switchback. Are you on a roller coaster?
No.
Okay. Do you shoot guns? Asked Markio.
No.
This is not a hybrid game, I'm guessing. Not a hybrid?
It
is a hybrid.
Can I ask a question?
Even if it's a separate SKU where you have to purchase it separately, that's still a hybrid.
Okay, sorry. Okay, because that's what I was going to say. Like Roboquest VR, would you say is a hybrid game?
Yes.
Okay. This is
100%.
a hybrid game.
Yep.
Okay, it's not Roboquest VR.
Okay. Do you play as a teenager in this game?
No.
Okay, it's not Madison. That's immediately where I went. So it's horror-ish, and it's playable on the flat screen.
Madison is not horror-ish.
Yeah, I know. I just never know when you're fucking with me. Okay. Is it yeah, good question.
If it helps with the horror thing, it's just creepy, eerie.
Okay. Was it a launch title?
No.
And it's not. Is it from an established video game series?
No.
Okay. Do you ghost hunt in this game?
No.
Right. And we already said it's not multiplayer, right?
Not multiplayer.
Okay. Is the world made of claymation? Is it made of clay?
No.
Okay, it's not Midnight Walk. Good guess, Tommy. Oh, interesting. Is the flat screen version of this game old?
I don't think so. I would have to check.
Okay.
No.
All right. So there's the seventh guest. Is it a puzzle game?
Barely.
Barely a puzzle game. Okay, why am I blanking on this? It's spooky. It's spooky. It's a hybrid game. It's on PSVR2 and apparently only on PSVR2. We got 10 seconds, guys. I need. It's time to guess. Is it by Vertigo Games?
No.
Is it a walking sim?
Yeah.
It's a walking sim. Shit. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna throw out the final thing. Is it? Yeah. Good call. Test rate reviews. Is it Pools VR? Pools.
It's not, Bryan, and the way I can tell you that is one of your questions was, do you have hands in the game? And you have hands in Pools VR.
Right.
You don't have hands in this one because this is Abyss, Backrooms, Pools, Horror VR, Bryan.
Oh my god. Yeah, this is not even technically. This is actually a hybrid game. Oh my god.
Because it's on Nintendo.
Yeah. And on PS5 flat screen.
Is it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Is it?
Fairly sure. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh my god. What a disaster.
That was when I was really annoyed when you asked early on if you had hands because I thought, fuck, it's going to give it away now out of the two, but that doesn't. Because in it, you've literally just got the two white
dots.
Like, yeah.
Yeah. I can't believe I saw this entire game in 17 minutes, and it was more coming soon. It's like I don't think anything. We're never going to see more from this game ever.
I've said this many times before. It is abysmal.
Yeah.
Do you know who the developer is, Bryan?
Is this a CGI Lab game or no?
It is CGI Lab Games, which you told me they've got a new game they've announced for 2027. Did you say?
Yeah, they do. It's this actually. It was this was Rypop. I was talking to him before the show, and he. Hold hold on. So let me see if I can't find it. I just thought it was absolutely hilarious that this 100% shovelware company.
Yeah. Because they also did Stairwell Horror.
The Stairwell Horror, right. Yeah, are they the ones who did Grand Rush by any chance?
No, that was, well, I mean, I would argue it probably is them. But Grand Rush was 404 games.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure it is the same.
Real quick here, I'm gonna bring this up. Yeah, this was absolutely hilarious. That that CGI Labs has another racing game coming out, Highway Legends Traffic Speed Racer VR, and it's good in the release window is 2027. It was like,
too long.
Why? What is taking them so long? It's shovelware. They're like, no, we got to polish this one up. This one is going to be our breakthrough game. This one's going to be the one, right? But you actually had a really fucking good theory about this that I appreciate so much.
A joking theory that turned out maybe is an actual point. Oh my god. What was it, Brian? What was the point?
Myles was saying that I was like why? I was like, how they released the dumbest crap in the jankiest way possible. Why would anything that they do like take over a year to get out? And you were like, oh, well, they got to space out their releases so they don't cannibalize their own sales.
You said so they don't cannibalize them.
That's hilarious to me. Hilarious to me that they're worried about putting out too much shovelware all at the same time. It's like, oh, we got to make the most amount of money, so they got to like only release one every 3 or 4 weeks, and they already have 12 other ones in development.
They could literally call this one Need for Speed VR and then change it 48 hours after launch to Needy for Speedy.
Bro, it is. I will say, like, I was getting a laugh out of all the shovelware at one point, and when it all comes out, I think I'm gonna make a video about it all, and kind of one big roundup, because here's what I don't want. I don't want to put Bryan bites out about each one individually, right? Because then there's this perception where like all we get is trash on the PlayStation Store, and that's not accurate at all. We've been getting nothing but bangers over the last few months. Everything's been great, and so the last thing I want to do is like perpetuate the myth that like all we get is this shovelware crap, when I just want to have fun and make a funny video about it. So I'm gonna put it all together into one big video. But I will say I'm starting to get irritated. It was funny for a little bit. It was like, oh man, look how blatantly they're ripping off Richie's Plank experience, right? It was like
that one hasn't come out yet still, which I was surprised by. I thought they were going to do it, because that's what happened with the Abyss pools. That came out a week or two before
pools
came out. Yeah.
So
I'm with you, man, and I'm probably am going to start doing reports to Sony for refunds, not because I give a shit about the refund, but I genuinely want them to take this shit down, because I'm the same as you. Like, we do laugh about it, but when I see it in top 10 downloads, I just think about, well, for the one thing, it's not fair on other developers, but also it's not fair on the people that don't watch YouTube channels, who they've just got a VR set for Christmas, they've done it, and we know what the refund policies are like. And someone said in the chat they should have their dev kits pulled. I agree. Like, I know we always say it's difficult because you don't want to penalize games made by indie developers that are perhaps not to your liking or not very good quality. They deserve the right to put it out there and be judged on it. But this stuff is cynically done. It's cynically done. It's clearly cynically done. So yeah,
and none of it. This is the worst part of it, Myles. None of it should be passing Sony's QA, because it's all none of it runs at a frame rate that I would consider even remotely acceptable. Right? Yeah, and so even if Sony's unwilling to say, hey, we're revoking your dev kit license, we're gonna switch off your dev kit the way that we did to Tuner Max recently or soon, if they're unwilling to do that, then at the very least, make them go through QA the same way that every other studio goes through QA, and do not let them put out a fucking game that runs at 10 frames per second, as almost every single one of these does.
Yep.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
Yep. Well, dude, look, and it's not as if they couldn't have played the Abyss in 17 minutes. Like, it's not as if it's a 12-hour game.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Craziness.
Appalling. Oh, dude, that was a terrible pun. I didn't mean that one when I said it's appalling, but
appalling. Is that where we're going with that? Marcus Antares. And if and I'm sorry, Marcus, if that's not how your name is, that it's so much fun to say, Marcus Antares. I think that's how it's just going to go from now on. With a level 1 membership, says hybrid is king at this point. We need more, folks. Yeah, and actually, you get a little bit of insight into why I feel this way right now. If you go to our Discord and go to our daily poll, the poll today, Myles, is: would you sacrifice every game coming out in 2026 for 5 AAA hybrid games? You don't get to pick what they are, but you get 5 AAA hybrid games instead of the whatever we're getting in 2026. And something I said in there was that, like, I think hybrid games are so important right now, right, for the next 5 years, for the next 10 years, to ensure that that developers don't shut down and that they're able to continue making VR games, right? Because that's the way forward right now in this kind of precarious time that VR is in, right? I don't ever want to see another situation where, like, the Horizon Rain team, what they went through, right? Spent 6 years making a game, and then they sell like 1,000 copies, and they're like, that's nowhere near what we needed to continue, which is bullshit. It's a great game, but it didn't get the love it deserved. So that's why I'm like, I think everybody needs to kind of take the safe route. And everybody needs to be developing these. Everyone needs to take the Flat2VR route. I think Endreams, Survios, everybody making VR games right now, just for a little while. Do I prefer built from the ground up for VR games? I think I do. I really do. Arcane Age, Horizon Rain, amazing games. Had a stellar year. And honestly, I give Vertigo games a hard time sometimes, but Metro Awakening was fantastic. Even Thief was fun. But I think for the sake of VR's future and getting more people in to play VR, games like BioShock VR would bring more people in.
What if Endreams Elevation had done a Tomb Raider VR game with the mechanics that they developed with Reach, for example? Do you know what I mean? Like, because the point is, we're not saying that the VR developers of Lies and Rain, we're saying they're incredibly skillful. Endreams are incredibly skillful, right. But you're already on the back foot when you're trying to do a new IP. Just look at flat screen games. Whenever even Naughty Dog. I mean, Naughty Dog does a new IP. We know they're going to knock out the park, but it's always risky. Of like, should Santa Monica do another God of War, or are they going to do another thing? It's why a lot of games now do spiritual successors. Like, look at what's it called? Who did Returnal?
Housemarque. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
All I had in my mind was Mark, and I was like, Mark. Housemarque. But now they're doing, now they're doing Saurus, which is clearly a spiritual successor to Returnal. It's his own game, but it builds on the momentum of what they've got before. That's because, that's what has to be done in this competitive market. Obviously, we do want to see new IPs. For me, VR often can't afford the new IP stuff because the new IP is the platform. VR is the new property, and the way that you help it is teaming up. So, like, if the Lies and Rain developers did something of that quality with, I don't know, we can think of lots of IPs that we could tie it up with. BioShock,
That's it. BioShock's just my default go-to, right? Yeah. But there's but if we were to look through the PlayStation 3 library, the PlayStation 4 library, I mean, we could come up with hundreds of examples of games that we'd love. Excuse me. Dead Ringer with the level 1 membership says Bryan Bites, spelled with Y's. Spelled with Y's.
2 Y's. Bryan Bites.
Nom nom nom. And he says, I'm sorry.
Nom, nom.
Which you should be. You should be. I've already explained why you're not getting Bryan Bites with a Y. In fact, I'm going to change my name. I'm going to spell Bryan with an I from now on. Like a loser would.
And then everyone will get it wrong again and keep putting a Y in it.
Tenny Bryans with an I in the chat. I love you. We're practically related. Comic book guy with the 5 quid says, I still have hope that Avatar Frontiers of Pandora will get a VR mode. Who's developing it? My guess would be Ubisoft. They've developed all that stuff. Is it them? If so,
it is. Ubisoft is the publisher. Developers is Massive Entertainment and Ubisoft Dusseldorf.
Massive Entertainment.
Yeah.
What else have they done? Because
they have done
Star Wars Outlaws.
Yeah. Tom Clancy's The Division 2.
So these guys don't have any VR stuff in their back catalog, huh?
Far Cry 3. Assassin's Creed Revelations.
I love that you have hope, comic book guy. I don't know if it's misguided or not, or misplaced. Ubisoft used to be such big VR people with, they supported PSVR 1 so much, right? With Space Junkies and Eagle Flight and Star Trek Bridge Crew and Werewolves Within, right? It was just like, man, these guys are, and Transpose, which I loved. No, Transference. Transpose was Secret Location. Yeah, it was like, holy crap, man. Like, they were one of the biggest publishers of PSVR 1 games. And then that was it, man. That was it. Everything went to hell in a handbasket, which is a phrase I've never used before just now. And by the way, this does remind me, and I'm sorry that this show is dragging on, Myles.
Very good.
We've got the GameCat Ops channel in Discord now. GameCat Ops, and what it is, we're gonna start getting laser focused in the new year, right? We're gonna be picking a game every single week that's either coming to Quest and Steam VR, and we really want these developers to know that we want a PSVR 2 version, or a flat screen game that we desperately want on PSVR 2. One game per week, and we're going to use that channel to give you all the links necessary to hit them up from every fucking angle possible. Now, we want you to be nice to these people, Ian. We want you to be nice to them.
Yeah.
Right? But what we're going to do is basically we're going to storm their Discord. We're going to storm their Twitter comments. We're going to storm the comment section of their YouTube channel. And we're going to come from all directions and be like, we really want a PSVR 2 version of this. Oh, a PSVR 2 version would be so great. Oh, the OLED panels and the blah, 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 the blah, 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 blah. Right? Adaptive trigger support in this game. I can't believe it. Oh, I can only imagine how good this would look on PSVR. And we're going to hit them from every angle. And we're going to do that 52 fucking times next year. Got me? This is the new mission statement of the channel. All right. Yeah, I'm going to do my best to review games and shit, but it is now our mission to let developers know how much we want PSVR 2 support in the games that we're getting. So get ready. Get ready.
Love it.
But the comic book guy just reminded me of that, so thanks for the reminder. And then we got Dead Ringer with the $10 tip. Says there's no other VR community that we want to be a part of. Thanks to all of you for bringing us the best PSVR content. Dude, thank you. Right? I know that you were complimenting us, but really it's a very reciprocal compliment, because the community is awesome because of you guys. Right? The community is awesome because we've got the best people in it, and everybody's super fucking respectful, and we're all like, spreading like love and positivity and excitement around VR instead of negativity and console wars, right? And all that nonsense that like that we don't need to be a part of, right? And so that's why, like, when we go out there into the world, especially if you got a GameCat moniker, right? Well, I want these other developers who maybe never considered VR before, or weren't considering PlayStation VR when they were deciding which headsets to bring their game to. I want them to feel that. I want them to like really understand what this community is all about just from seeing all the love in the comments. So let's try to remember that. So thank you, Dead Ringer. And thank you, and really thank you everybody for like letting me do the fucking job that I love. Right? You're amazing. I appreciate it. All right, one more tip, and then we're going to wrap this thing up. And it comes from Comic Book Guy, again, with the £5. Thank you so much. He says, talking about movies that had great 3D effects, I would say How to Train Your Dragon 2025 remake was great, but sadly, no home 3D release. I have not watched. As much as I loved How to Train Your Dragon 1 and 2, I don't think I've seen 3. I've not seen the remake.
I've never seen them. I haven't seen any of them. I know.
Toothless is adorable. Toothless is like having like a big fucking dog or cat. It's a dragon. That anyway, whatever. Toothless is awesome. But yeah, How to Train Your Dragon. I did not think the second one was going to live up to the first one. Saw the first one in the theater. Saw the second one in the theater, and was blown away. The second one might actually be better than the first.
Wow.
Yeah, highly recommended, Myles. Especially if like you're trying to watch something as a family or whatever over the holidays. Yeah, big recommendation. But that's dude, awesome. I completely forgot that there was a remake, Comic Book Guy. So I'm going to check that out because I think I need something like wholesome in my life, and that would be perfect. It's time to wrap this up. Thank you everybody for being here. Thank you everybody for your support. I hate kind of leaving it on a cliffhanger, but if this is actually the last GAMESCAST of 2025, I just want to say thank you for an amazing year. Still got a couple more videos coming out. I'm going to be around Discord pretty much constantly, so I'm not disappearing, but I'm going to take some time off soon. And with any luck, if AJ's feeling better and if he's up to it on Monday, then we'll do one more GAMESCAST and we'll call it a year. But either way, I should be back on New Year's Eve.
Well, I was going to say, actually, I'm not going to put you on the spot about it now to have a decision, but I'm going to put you on the spot suggesting it. Well, next Wednesday on Christmas Eve, I'm doing Myles Die Live, which will be at 4 p.m. your time. So if you're not with any family at that point, and if you are, good on you. But if you are about, you should come on, hang out.
I'll keep you posted.
All right. But if not,
yeah,
that's fine, because like I know what it's like switching off. But it's not a live stream you'll have to worry about setting up. Just turn out and we'll just chill for an hour, chill and reflect on the year. It'll be good. Yeah,
that's listen. I might actually be down because we used to be a big Christmas Eve family, and like we go this place for Christmas Eve and this place Christmas morning and this place Christmas, and it was just like nonstop traveling for like 48 hours straight, and then finally at the end of Christmas Day, you're like, can I play with my toys? Right. But you're too tired to play with your toys because like you've been traveling nonstop. We don't really do that much anymore. In fact, the family kind of like went all their different ways, and so Christmas Eve is we don't really do much or anything, and so I might be around. All right. Well, to be honest, I might end up doing it a bit earlier anyway because I am supposed to be at my family's that evening, and I've just realised now, 10 p.m. might be a bit late by the time I get there because we do Yankee swap, which I think is what you call it over there, right? Yeah.
My parents learned it when they were in Boston, and I love it because Secret Santa is cool, but the problem with Secret Santa is you got to be like, what have I got to get this person? And then also, when you do Secret Santa, if anyone's like ill or not about, okay, now the person they're going to buy for doesn't get a gift. Whereas with Yankee Swap, 7 people turn up, 7 gifts, 8 people, and you're not having to, freak out. And I do it every Christmas Eve with my parents, my uncle and auntie and cousin, and it's always a good time. And sometimes I go for things that are nice, sometimes I go for really terrible presents. There was one year where I bought a calendar, a yearly calendar, and it had just pictures of cats pooping. Some of them were fucking gross. I mean, they were all gross, but some of them were like horrifically bad. But it was so great.
Dickie1331 in the chat says, "What the hell is a Yankee swap?" And for anybody who doesn't know, everyone brings like kind of a you set a price range, right? Everyone brings a gift. So if you get 20 people that in your family gathering, everyone brings a gift. It's wrapped, and then you just kind of throw them into a pile, and then you all draw numbers, and the first person just picks a present out of the pile. You open it up and go, look what I got, and then the next person who drew the next number goes and they pick a present from the pile. They open it up and they get to say, am I going to keep this or am I going to swap with the person before me? And it goes that way until all 20 people have opened all 20 presents, and then the very last person can swap with the very first person. And so there's all the swapping of the gifts, like no, I want the hot chocolate. No, look at the fucking dildo.
And when people have something really good, they're always like, oh, you don't want this. Like,
right.
People got really terrible ones, like the guy. My cousin had my calendar with the cat's poop in. It's like, please take this, and everyone's like, no, don't want it.
Oh, people are calling it a white elephant, which is not. Which
Yeah,
I've
white
heard
elephant
the
exchange
expression.
is the other name for it. Yeah, I've heard that as well.
I've heard that. I
Same
don't
that
think I
same
knew
game.
it was the same thing. That's good to know.
Yeah.
Good. I'll tell you. We used to do presents, and then we said no, and then we used to do the Yankee swap, and they're like no. We play a game now called Right Left Center.
Okay.
Are you familiar with it?
No. I mean, it sounds familiar, but maybe
you literally you literally have to buy the game is like a couple dollars, right? And so it's just some dice that you roll, and everybody puts three $1 bills in front of them all around the table, and it's all about just rolling the dice and either passing the money, one of your dollars left or to the right, or if you roll center, you throw it into the middle. And so there's a big pool of money, and eventually all the money does end up in the center, and whoever's the last one gets to keep all the money. And it sounds so simple and so silly, but we roar. Like
sure.
the neighbors were like, this is the craziest party of the year going on over there, right? Because they just hear us screaming through the walls, like we're banging on the table and everything as people. So if you guys don't know what Right Left Center is, go grab it from Amazon before your family gatherings and play it. Make sure everyone brings three $1 bills, and you will have a blast. It is so fun. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then finally, Dead Ringer with the $2 tip says, "Happy 2 Wise Fridays. Happy 2 Wise Fridays to one and all." Thank you very much.
But just because I don't want to interrupt your outro to this show,
Yeah.
I'll just take the moment now just to wish all the Game Cats live watching on replay. Hope you have a really, really good holiday or whatever you do at this time of year. Even if you don't celebrate it, hopefully you have some time to relax and chill, reflect on the year, and also make plans for the new year. But yeah, just want to say a massive thank you. As Bryan was saying, this community is absolutely everything. It's absolutely incredible. It's been the most remarkable year. I can't believe we had the Game Cat meet up, and I mean, we got another one not too far away. But like, yeah, this community is everything, and it's not just in terms of the live streams. It's getting to share about game experiences, recommendations, advocating for the platform that we love, and then obviously like professionally as well. Like now working for Flat2VR Studios, like the support and the fair critiques that are thrown our way as well. Like I embrace it all, and yeah, just really, really grateful for everyone. And I'm incredibly grateful for you, Bryan, Wes, and AJ. And obviously AJ I send extra love for, who I just hope he I know he's on the road to recovery, but we
hope he pulls through. No,
yeah. I want him to feel good so he can enjoy and play lots of VR games around Christmas time.
Yep, I'm with you.
What's going to be your Christmas VR game? If you're like uninterrupted, like right now, I'm just going to play it for me. What VR game is it going to be?
It's not going to be VR.
It's not. That's good. Well, yeah, go on then. No. What? Okay, non VR.
I'm actually currently playing through Resident Evil Remake.
Oh, okay.
Because when I first played that on GameCube, I was very unimpressed by it. Like I was impressed by the technical aspect of it, being like, wow, what a crazy recreation. But it was so dark, and it was like, who lit these fucking candles? Like nothing about it made sense to me. I was like, I've always said the same thing. If everything's dark and scary, then nothing's dark and scary, right? If from the word go, it's like, oh, oppressive tones. It's like,
yeah,
I don't know, right? And so, and I'm such a fan of the original PlayStation 1 Resident Evil that like it, I just couldn't get into it. And I've always had like a sort of a negative connotation with it, despite the fact it was doing very, very cool things technically.
Yeah.
And so and then recently I was just playing around on my Switch too. And the Nintendo eShop is having like a massive sale on a ton of stuff, and it was like $10, and I was like, you know what? I'm kind of in the mood to play through this, and I've never actually played through more than the first 2 hours, and I think it's time that I finally give it the love it deserves because everyone goes to bat for it.
Yeah,
I think about 4 hours in now. I'm past the point where I've ever been, and I am really fucking enjoying it. Like
that's so good to hear.
It'll never surpass the original Resident Evil for me, just because I have too many nostalgic rose-tinted memories of it. But it is great, and I do understand why everyone loves it.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. All right. Anyway, it is time to go. So thank you, everybody, again. I hope everyone has a great holiday. And again, thank you, everybody who supports the channel in any way that you support the channel, whether it be financially on patreon.com/withoutparole and your name is running down there. Amazing. Thank you so much. Or if you are a member over here or you tip during the show, we just appreciate you oh so very much. Thank you for letting me do what I love for a living and keeping the channel rolling. It is because of you. We do not do sponsorships. We do not do paid videos of any kind, right? Sponsorships might come. I just need to find the right sponsorship, but no, nothing game related. This is 100% funded by you guys. And so thank you for allowing me to keep doing it. But even if you don't support me financially, we're just happy that you're here, hanging out in the chat, shooting the shit, helping during 20 questions. Or maybe you sit back and watch a show and don't say a goddamn word. And if that's you, we know you're out there and we love you just as much. Here it is, you guys, courtesy of World of Long Plays. It's your clip of the week. Let's go. Yo, I don't even want to know how much time it took to set that shit up.
But it was festive as fuck, Brian.
It was festive as fuck.
That's how
true.
I want to see the lights turned on at Christmas time. None of this flicking a switch and the lights go on. I want to see barrels explode leading up to the grand finale. That was amazing.
World of Long Play says, unfortunately, the explosions of the back were clipped due to being outside the render distance. Dude, I didn't even notice. Would it take like an hour to set up? That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. I love it. Also, Game Cato, who was cut off and somebody must have served him under the table. With the Australian $2 tip says Motorstorm VR. And I'm all about that shit. Let's go. Motorstorm VR would be amazing. People have been asking that for forever. Let's get out of here, Myles. Good night, everybody. We love you all.